Good morning, students. Today's class is 7th English, Term 1, PROSE, EIDGAH, Section 3. Read this section in pairs. Next to the sweet shops, there were a few hardware stores and jewelry shops. The boys were not interested in anything there, so they walked ahead except Hamid. It occurred to Hamid that his granny didn't have a pair of tongs. Each time she cooked chapatis, the iron pan burnt her hands. If he bought her a pair of tongs, she would be very pleased. She would never again burn her fingers. It would be a really useful thing to have in the house. So Hamid stopped to get a pile of tongs at the hardware shop and asked the shopkeeper, "How much for this pair of tongs?" The shopkeeper looked at him and replied, "It's not for you." "Is it for sale or not?" "Why should it not be for sale? It will cost for 6 paise." Hamid's heart sank. "Tell me the correct price," he said. "All right, it will be 5 paise. Take it or leave it." Hamid said, "Will you give it to me for 3? Then he walked away, afraid the shopkeeper would scream at him, but the shopkeeper didn't scream. On the contrary, he called Hamid back and gave him the pair of tongs. Hamid carried it on his shoulder as if it were a gun to show it to his friends. Musin laughed and said, "Are you crazy? What will you do with the tongs?" Hamid flung the tongs on the ground and replied, "Try and throw your water carrier on the ground. It will break." Mohammed said, "Are these tongs some kind of toy?" "Why not?" replied Hamid. "Place them across your shoulders and it is a gun. Carry them in your hands and it is like the musical instrument carried by singing monks. My tongs are like a tiger among toys." Sami, who had bought a small tambourine, asked, "Will you exchange them for my tambourine? It is worth 8 paises." But Hamid wouldn't. The pair of tongs won everyone over to its side. By 11 the village was again filled with excitement. All those who had gone to the fair were back at home. Hamid too returned home. As soon as he heard his voice, Granny Amina ran out of the house, picked him up and kissed him. Suddenly she noticed the tongs in his hand. "Where did you find these tongs?" "I bought them." "How much did you pay for them?" 3 paisas. "You're a stupid child. It is almost none, and you haven't had anything to eat or drink. Couldn't you find anything better in the fair than this pair of iron tongs?" Hamid replied in the injured tone, "You burned your fingers on the iron pan, so I bought them." Granny was deeply moved by Hamid's selflessness. She started crying. For the rich woman, the pair of tongs was as precious as sacks of silver.